This topic is called surface area. Okay, so what we're going to do is look at the non-calculator questions dealing with surface area. Just an overview, these are some of the questions they could ask for. So it might be a cube, a cuboid, triangular prism, a square base pyramid, a tetrahedron, or a cone. There's also other things that we might look at. So for instance, a cylinder can also appear as well. First question we are going to do is the cylinder one. This is going to be non-calculator, so just showing you where you would go in the exams. Now, a cylinder is made from two circles and a long rectangle. The best way of you working out that, if you're a little bit unsure, is if you get like a toilet roll, cut it down the middle, and you pull it out and stretch it out, you'll see that rectangle happening. Now, key points, we are given some information, so we're going to write this in. So we've got 30 centimetres by here. We don't have this side just yet, but we can work it out. And we've got this is 11 centimetres. So a few things that we're going to need to know. We're going to need to know the area of a circle, which is pi r squared. So in this case, because we're non-calculated, we're going to be keeping in terms of pi. So we're going to be doing 121 pi would be one circle. And we need two of these, so it's going to give us 242 pi. Now the next point is the rectangular shape we've got. Now, as you notice, it goes right round the circle. So this is actually our circumference. So we can write a little note there. So that comes from our circumference. Again, another formula we need to know. Circumference, you should know it by now, it's pi times diameter. We haven't got the diameter, but we've got the radius. Remember, 2 lots of the radius is equal to the diameter. Yep. So we can say that's 22 pi. So a little notice there. So 22 pi is that long length. So area of rectangle. There we go. 22 pi times 30. And that's going to give us the area of this rectangle, which will give you 660 pi. Last step now is just to finally add them together, and that will give you the total surface area of this shape. The total surface area is going to be a 242 pi that you've worked out, plus your 660 pi. And that is going to give us 702 pi. And then it's centimetres squared because we're looking at area. Hopefully that one helped. Next question. So I've added this in because it's also going to give us a little bit of problem solving. So pause the video if you want to have a go at yourself, but I'm going to go through it from this moment in time. So this shape, we've got a right angle triangle. So firstly, I'm just going to shape out what I've got in this shape. So I've got my 3 by 4, and I've got 2 of those because I've got 1 by there and 1 by there. So that's times by 2. Next, then I've got the rectangle that's along the bottom. The base of my thing, which is 4 by 10. Just in case you can't see that, that's this section by here. And then I've only got 1 of them, so let's just write 1 in. Always give yourself a little plan of what's going on. And your next one, 10 by 3, which is technically this shape by here. And again, I've only got one. Now, if I rub all this off, you will see that there's also one more side here. I'm just going to colour it in. Whee. Really lovely colouring. This is 10 by something. So I'm just going to draw that down, my last one. Now, to work out that missing side, I'm going to need to do Pythagoras because I've got a right angle triangle. So we're going to do 3 squared plus 4 squared, and we're going to square root that. So 9 plus 16 gives us 25, which gives me 5 as my centimetres as my answer. And again, times by 1, which now we should be able to check. This shape is going to have 5 sides. So it's always good just to make sure that that is now happening. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and this base give me my 5th side. Okay, now we've got to work out the area of each one of these. So this is quite a nice bit now on this question. So let's go back to the light green triangles. So we've got half, base times height, so 3 times 4, which gives you 6. But we've got times 2 of them, which is going to be 12 centimetres squared. Next one, it's just height times base, so 4 times 10, which gives us 40. And I'm putting all my units in as I go, just in case it is an OCW question. It's nice to have that repetition. Even if it isn't, just getting yourself familiar with it just helps you in the long run. And that's 30 centimetres squared. And then the last one is 50 centimetres squared. Once you're at this stage now, the main thing is that you add all of these together. It won't take you too long. So remembering because we're not focusing on the 6 because we've got 2 of them. So 12, the 40, 30, and the 50. So let's quickly go through these. So we got 90, 102, 132 centimetres squared. And that is the surface area for that one. Okay, next questions. This is the last one we're going to do today. It looks horrible. It's really not that bad. It's just there's going to be a lot more shapes than you're used to. Okay, so when you've got a question like this, just make sure your planning out is really on top. First thing I would focus on is that this section by here plus this section by here is going to be the same as that section at the back. I know you can't see it, but it's one of these weird shapes that works, okay? So what I'm going to do is, firstly, I know that my height is 3 and my base is 6. So this rectangle, I'm actually going to have 2 of them. Because if you turned it, you would see the fact that they actually merge into one, even if there is a slight line between them. So there's going to be 2 of those. Same case with the base is the same as if I had this top bit by here and this bit by here. So we can draw that in as our second one. Just going to move me out the way. Which the base is 6 by 5, and it doesn't matter which way your numbers go around as long as you've got both. And we're timesing that by 2. So I've done the front, I've done the back, But I've done the plan, done the base, I've done the side and the side. The last thing I've got is this L shape. Up to you how you want to do this. I'm just going to draw it all, and just because I know I've got 2 of them, I am slightly splitting it, but that's fine. Again, I've got 2 of these. So that's writing some key information for that last one. So this is 4, that is 1. So I'm using that 4 and that 1, so that just so you know where I got those numbers from. And the top bit is 1 and 3. Okay, so that wasn't too bad. So let's work out the area of that now. So that's 3 and 4. Add them together, it's 7. So 7 times 2 gives me 14 centimeters squared. Let's go back to the blue. We've got 5 times 6, which is 30. 30 times 2, which gives me 60 centimeters squared. And then the last one, the red one. Oh, I'm just going crazy. 3 times 6 is 18. 18 times 2 gives me 36 centimeters squared. Then again, we're going to be adding as we go. So 14 and 36 will give us 50. And then we're adding on a 60. So the total surface area is going to be 110 centimeters squared. And there you go. Hope that helped.